Okay, so what's next with this guy? Well, we gotta put a bit of a background on here. We can't leave this as white. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this white area in with an orange color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my eyedropper tool inside the toolbox. I'm just gonna hit the I key on my keyboard. That grabs the ruler tool. Remember, the eyedropper tool is hidden inside this group of tools, so I'm gonna grab him, or I could have hit Shift I if I wanted to, whatever works. And I'm gonna hover over top of some of the orange inside the text here from my title. I'm just gonna single click. That loads the orange into my foreground color swatch here at the bottom of the toolbox. I'll make sure that my background layer is selected inside the layers palette, and I'll fill him with the foreground color. Again, Option Delete or Alt Delete on the Windows side. That fills the entire layer with the orange. Wonderful stuff. Okay, now there's yet another image that I want to drop into this file. So once again, I'm going to hit Command O or Control O, and this guy's name is background.psd. Grab him inside the Chapter 5 folder, open him up. He's just sort of a series of stripes here that I cooked up. I actually cooked this up inside Illustrator of all places. I'm going to go back up to the application bar here, and I will say float all in Windows, because what I want to do is take this guy here and drop him right behind these sewer creatures. So I'll make sure that my move tool is selected inside the toolbox, back to my background.psd, drag him in. I'm going to hold Shift again. Remember that trick there? Drops him right in. We're done with this guy. And I'll go back into my full screen here, F one more time. Now notice something happened here. When I dropped in the background, my background layer was the last layer that I had selected. So as soon as I dropped in that other layer, it dropped it above the currently selected layer. That's how it kind of works here inside Photoshop. Anyway, I'm going to rename this guy one more time, call this guy Stripes. Now, something that we haven't talked about inside the Layers palette yet is something called blending modes, opacity, and fill. Let's take a moment and see how this works. Well, I have my blending modes right up at the top of the Layers palette. What's a blending mode? Well, you could think of a blending mode as a special effect for your layers. Now, there is a technical aspect to it. These guys are actually mathematical formulas that recalculate pixels inside your image. So in other words, how do I want to blend the pixels in the stripes layer with the pixels inside the background layer? So you can experiment with these if you want. I'm going to wind up using soft light. And as for opacity, that's the density or the transparency of my layer. So I'm going to wind up around 50% here. Perfect. Great stuff.